Jasmine is picking up the kids, but they're not her own.
Because sometimes they call me mommy, but I said, no, I'm not your mommy.
Jasmine is from the Philippines. She came to Hong Kong 2 years ago after 14 years working as nanny in Singapore. She came here because the pay is higher.
She takes good care of my kids and my family, so everybody likes her. Now she is becoming a member of our family.
Jasmine is one of 300,000 domestic helpers in Hong Kong. This means roughly 1 out of 8 households in Hong Kong employs a domestic helper, and most of these come from the Philippines and Indonesia. While Jasmine has settled into her position nicely, others are not so lucky. Ariana, a 23-year-old Indonesian helper, claims she was abused by her employer, who has already been arrested. Some say this is rare.
Well, I think it's an extreme example. I don't think a lot of employers are doing like this, because I see a lot of family in Hong Kong are very nice with the domestic helper.
But for others, it's nothing new. The Mission for Migrant Workers surveyed more than 3,000 women. 18% of them said they suffered from physical abuse, and 6% reported sexual abuse. Hong Kong's Labor Union of Domestic Helpers provides help for victims of abuse here in the city.
Here we can organize any trade unions or organizations, and we can do some lobbying with the government. We can do rallies, not like in other, like Taiwan and Singapore or Malaysia, we cannot do that. In Hong Kong, it's more open.
Free speech and the right to organize are not enough. While Hong Kong requires people who employ nannies to follow regulations and provide benefits such as free medical care, there are still cases of abuse. There are now calls for the regulations to be changed. Some are calling for an end to the 2-week rule, which forces foreign helpers to leave Hong Kong 14 days after the contract ends. That's not enough time for helpers to file a case against the abusive employer. But the Immigration Department insists that the policy is necessary.
The policy intent of the 2-week rule is to provide them sufficient time to prepare for the departure after termination of the contract. But it is not for the seeking another employer in Hong Kong. It helps to prevent the domestic helpers from job hopping and working illegally after termination of the contract.
The Immigration Department says it will consider discretionary visa extensions if there is evidence that a foreign helper is abused. Others want to abolish legislation which forces foreign domestic helpers to live with their employers.
We cannot deny there would be implications to our housing, to our public transport, and also we have to consider the affordability of the local employer before any change or any consideration to change this policy.
It may take years for the government to reach consensus on this issue, but for individuals, only mutual respect and equal treatment can benefit both the employers and the employed. Zhu Dan, CCTV, Hong Kong.